Manu Sadia, the author of Trekonomics, talks about replicators and the post-scarcity society. And the thing that distinguishes, he made a great point, the technology and what it can provide is treated in Star Trek as a public good, something we have been emphasizing here on the program and in our own writing, the value of a public good when it comes to technology, especially technology such as the internet, which was developed at public expense. Now, how does this translate into the technology that's coming down the pike for us? We keep hearing a lot about self-driving cars. I think there's a lot of hype. I think people underestimate the obstacles. I do think such a thing is possible. Now, Eric Evarts, writing in Alternet, tells us that AT&T and wireless carriers such as AT&T and Sprint have made no secret of their desire to monetize your time in the car, meaning a self-driving car. Both have divisions devoted to selling connectivity to automakers. The intent is to own a piece of the connection and even the interface inside the car. Revenue from these data connections could reach $36 billion in the next 10 years, according to a report by Navigant Research. Other estimates go much higher, as high as $200 billion by 2020, according to McKinsey and Company. What don't act so surprised? Do you think people give you this stuff for free? Do you really think you're getting free stuff? Do you think you're going to sit in a self-driving car and really not pay for it in some way? You have this fantasy you're going to read a book while the car drives or listen to music or do your work? I don't think so. I think it's going to be like those elevators where the TV's playing 24/7 and it distracts you and you can't turn it off. This is the thing we've got to understand about the world we live in now. It is a monetizing world. So let us not be so techno-euphoric that we don't understand what will happen if we do not take charge of our own use of our own time, our own wealth, which includes our personal data. That should be a form of our own wealth, and our own technology, the technology that we have created. Because, data can take us in all sorts of different directions. There was a report saying that this week saying that big banks are beginning to learn how to mine your data in the banking world. That's your financial data. And according to the report in Business Insider, quote, they are just cracking the surface of big data. Another editorial in the Shadowproof blog pointed out something we've talked about a lot, which is the biosurveillance that employers are now performing on their workers. We've talked about how employers are tracking their workers through the motions of their cell phone, and reading their private emails, reading their social media accounts, and so on. Now they're going to actually be able to surveil your state of mind, your level of stress, your heart rate, and that sort of thing. So the invasions of privacy are getting profound. They are getting deep. They are being done for profit. They are being done to exploit you in the workplace. They are being done to rob your autonomy and freedom, to take it from you in a million different directions. Now, one last thought on the technology world. There is a new experiment in place at the University of Cambridge in which a quote-unquote mother robot can design, build, and test its own quote-unquote children, and then use the results to improve the performance of the next generation without relying on computer simulation or human intervention. Now, I've got this from the University of Cambridge website. The architect of this project says, we want to see robots that are capable of innovation and creativity. Now, this is not iRobot we're looking at here. It was building these robots out of 5 blocks, each of which had a little motor in it. That's it. So it was different ways to put 5 blocks together. We're not talking about an Android here, okay? But the fact is our technology is reaching new levels of sophistication. This will eventually iterate and become more productive, more efficient, create very complex systems. The question for us is, will we build a post-scarcity society with that knowledge, or will we build a society in which human individuals are exploited for corporate gain? That is one of the challenges of the future. Stick with us. We'll keep talking about it next week and in the months to come. I'm Richard RJ Eskow, and this is The Zero Hour.